Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Manu Prasanna. I'm a conversational AI strategist here at Avamo. I come from a technology and cloud background. Previously, I was at VMware at the Cloud Management Business Unit, where I managed VMware's next generation cloud management suite of products, including cloud automation, operations, and business management products. Joining me today is our conversational AI product specialist, Robert Smith. I will let him introduce himself when he takes over from me. This is the new normal. We are living in a contactless economy. That's not just our doors, but also services. So, how do you keep in close touch with your customers, your own employees, and your suppliers right now? What Bank of America and WestJet faced represents what happened to many enterprises when coronavirus started to spread in the US in March 2020. Long wait lines quickly became normal. Companies were unable to take even simple customer service calls, even just like asking bank balance and changing travel reservations. Simple and frequent requests now took hours, or in the case of WestJet, as we see here, 10 hours. April 2020 was the height of coronavirus. Nearly half the world's population was quarantined. 90% of the US workforce was under lockdown. Call centers were overwhelmed, employees were at home, all the sophisticated systems to no avail. The new normal is increased reliance on call centers. This is not going away. Even when we finally get COVID-19 behind us, your customers and employees will expect more real-time resolution of their issues. A lot of this is learned behavior, and that has caused a permanent shift. Self-service is now a business imperative, and virtual assistants are a solution to that imperative, and they reinvent the way you talk to your employees, your customers, and suppliers. Whether it's asking your documents, which exist in various locations, a question like, hey, how do I apply for a corporate card, and getting a simple answer back, or whether it's just being able to have a conversation with an enterprise application and say, hey, why didn't my expense report go through? Or whether it's automating 30 to 70% of the calls in your contact center. Now, I'm going to invite Robert Smith to talk about virtual assistants in the contact center and actually show you virtual assistants in action. Over to you, Robert.
Thank you, Manu. First, let's talk about IVR Self-Service 1.0. It goes back decades. In the 90s, IVR became the dominant first touch point with customers. Since then, call waiting, call deflection, callback, and more have been added, but it's not enough. In the age of Google Assistant and Alexa, the IVR-based contact center is getting left behind. It's still important. 82% of online customer service interactions result in a phone conversation. In spite of online customer service, chat, web, social media, and so on, a live conversation with an agent still forms the heart of a contact center operation. Talking to a live, knowledgeable agent and solving the problem is still a core part of the customer experience. Now for the what if. Provide full end-to-end self-service. Customers calling into the contact center can simply say what they need to do. The virtual agent automatically initiates the right action to deliver that first call resolution or transfer to an agent. It'll deliver a seamless omni-channel experience where conversational AI will enable customers to connect with the businesses on one communication channel and continue that conversation with context on another. So this frees up agents for higher value work. Offloading repetitive conversations really lets your agents focus on more meaningful activities. So conversational IVR can also take the pressure off live agents and offer the highest level of accuracy and query resolution normally associated with humans only. So this means improved self-service containment rates, decreased misrouting, increased first call resolution, and doubled automation rates. It can also optimize your contact center operations with decreased agent call volume, shortened call durations, reduced hold times, and expedited call resolution rates. So Avamo's conversational IVR customers also reported significant improvements in contact center metrics, such as decreases in caller abandonment rates, decreases in the number of call transfers to an agent, reductions in agent handle times, and an overall increase in contact center productivity. So what it can really do, we're going to break it down into three things here. Speech to intent. Understanding exactly what someone said is one thing. That's getting the words right. Understanding what they meant, their intent, is another. You need both. Ask your question. Our patented automatic speech recognition and natural language understanding will understand the meaning, the nuance, and the intent behind the question, not just the words. So getting the intent right can help to eliminate misroutes and even reduce your average handle time by 30 to 40% we've seen. Next, we have call steering. So no more need to press buttons to select options. You can just speak and ask for what you want specifically. So the platform can automatically understand the sequences of utterances that you made and determine the user intent to steer the user to the right response or flow. So this helps remove a lot of call center navigation and provides a higher quality self-service experience for your users. From a languages perspective, we have over 30. So it's not just English. Our voice technology can understand your question in many different languages and dialects. So the platform can understand and also respond back to users in the language of their choice. Now, for some examples of how some of our customers are using our products, our solution, here we have a large truck rental company. They wanted to come back from the quarantine. The thing is, their agents only wanted to work from home. So this really reduced their capacity, even though call volume was increasing. This included new things like a lot of people changing reservations at the last moment. So human effort alone just couldn't handle it. So the company turned to AI technology pioneered by Avamo. And the net result was a 90% deflection rate, full automation across their Eastern and Central time zone servers where they used it. For our next example, a large healthcare provider we're working with needed to prepare for the surge of calls they're getting for COVID-19 vaccine scheduling. Everything is voice in this case, or upwards of 90% in many cases. What you see here is an example of full automation of the call, which we call deflection, and it's available anytime, 24/7 by 365, not just when the office is open. Make the call, book it, carry on. So now we're going to have a couple of demos here. In this case, for Penny, did you know it takes an average of 8 minutes to book a healthcare appointment? And of course, that's after you find the right provider to call during the week when the office is open. I'm going to show you a demo where we accomplish both tasks in about 2 minutes.
Hello, I'm Penny, your virtual assistant, and I can help set up an appointment with your healthcare provider. You can say something like, "We need to see our son's pediatrician," or "I need to get an x-ray. What can I do for you today?"
I need to see someone about a knee replacement procedure.
Let me see if I can connect you with the right healthcare provider. If you would, please provide me with your patient identification number.
12690. Don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't able to find your information using your patient ID, 12690. But no worries, just provide me with your full name, date of birth, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. Also, please let me know if you have any preferences in your healthcare provider.
My name is Tony Allen Reynolds. I was born on November 15th, 1980. The last 4 of my social is 6958. Now, I want a male doctor that does a lot of knee replacements and is near RDU Airport.
Great, thanks. Based on what you've told me, I recommend that you see Dr. Michael Bolognesi, who has a 4.92 out of 5 patient provider rating, has extensive experience in knee replacement and is near RDU Airport. Is this okay?
Yes, it is.
Okay. The earliest available appointment is 11 a.m. next Wednesday. Will that work?
Yes, it will.
Okay. You're all set for 11 a.m. next Wednesday. I've sent you a confirmation text, and I'll also text you a reminder the day before your appointment.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Please call back if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks.
So that's just one example. Of course, you can also change or cancel an appointment with our AI, and that's huge. Before COVID, no-show rates hovered around 30%, costing providers annually over $150 billion. And this only got worse during COVID, and the number exceeded $160 billion just for the months of March through June of 2020. So for our next demo, time is your money. Resolving IT issues is big business. Getting your employees back up and running is critical. So let's see an example of how conversational AI can help to get your employees back on their feet 24/7 by 365.
Hi, I'm Snowy, your ServiceNow virtual assistant. I can help you do things like order stuff from the catalog, get help, or check the status of your tickets and requests. How can I help you today?
My laptop is not working.
Let me help you file a ticket for your laptop issue. Please give me some details of the problem for faster resolution.
It is shutting down for no reason.
How badly is this issue affecting your work? Say unable to work or press 1. Say moderately affects work or press 2. Say no impact on work or press 3.
I am unable to work.
Thanks for providing the details. Give me a moment to file your ticket. All right, we're all set. I've created incident INC001066 for your issue. I'll send the ticket information to the email address we have on file for you, along with a text message, to make sure you have it handy. You should expect a call back from our service desk, with next steps, within the hour. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, thanks.
So those are a couple of examples of what it can do. Now let's see how it works. So what does this really look like? Well, first of all, it integrates into your existing IVR stack quickly and with the least amount of friction. Next, we automate some specific call types. When we automate, we call steer, execute, and update the system of record. Outcomes are either end-to-end automation, full deflection, or we complete 60, 70, 80% of a task and hand it over to a live agent. That's the data along with the caller and the call for a warm handoff. Doing it this way, we move quickly. That means production ready in just 12 to 15 weeks. So in the global race to provide efficient service, companies that can't meet the new expectations for customer service are losing business. And this was to the tune of $62 billion as far back as 2015, according to a Forrester report. According to a Gartner survey, 81% of CMOs expect to be competing mostly or completely on the basis of CX in the very near future. Now, a big reason for this is the trend of commoditization. industries from telcos to transportation, with minimal differences across competitive product offerings, mobile carrier plans, airline tickets, rental cars. It's up to the contact center and the CX experience of both the buying and servicing cycles. It's a key to customer delight and loyalty. Conversational AI, if deployed correctly, can represent an easy, frictionless experience for customers and an exciting opportunity for your contact center decision makers. So it's becoming an integral part of the customer journey for our customers. In the end, conversational AI is really a customer experience tool. Thank you. We hope to hear from you soon.
Looks like we have like a few questions on the line. So maybe how about Robert, we take a few of those questions. So one of the questions so one of the questions, Robert, is about language. We have here someone from Portugal, I believe, and they're asking if how does language and translation work, and can this technology work in different languages?
Absolutely, and that's built in. And thank you for your question or opening. First of all, you need to be able to understand what someone is saying, like in this case in Portuguese or any number of other languages. So the automated speech recognition tool has to be tuned for that particular language so it can do the speech to text. The next step there is being able to work intuitively in that language, and then also being able to translate. So if you have a particular process, a particular set of documents that you want to, you don't want to have to rewrite everything every time you work across languages. Maybe, for example, if you're in Portugal, you may want to get answers, but the documents are only available in English, as happens far too often. We actually have the ability to translate the content. So you can ask a question in Portuguese of English content, get an answer back in Portuguese. So that means that you can get ask questions and get answers in your native language, even if the going after isn't in your native language. So that's a way that we not only understand it, but we can also translate it dynamically. And this works across the full product, IVR, processes, flows, documents, websites, all of it. So I love your question. Thank you. Again, obrigado.
All right. So Robert, thanks for that. One more question that we have. How do you pick the calls that you can automate? And then also, how much automation can you achieve? So you want to take that?
Sure. So from that perspective, we look for use cases that are going to be typically high value. In other words, you get a lot of them. So if we can automate a high percentage of those, then we're making a big difference. So very often those kind of repetitive tasks that you tend to get a lot of, there's great training data for us, so that really helps our accuracy. And there's kind of a day one where we look to do a training. If you have existing recordings of conversations, we can use that to really get the accuracy up for containment to be as high as possible day one. But then we also work with you going forward as the product tracks everything, monitors everything, and then provides learning opportunities. What are people asking? What are people asking that they're getting the right answer? What are things that are unhandled? Maybe the underlying content doesn't have an answer in it for us to work with. We can help you dynamically look for those opportunities. So the idea is that containment rates are going to definitely go up significantly. We try to get them as high as we can for day one. After that, let's say 12 to 15 week sprint to get it into production. But then also, as it's in production, we work with you to get those rates up. So and those are work just as we have a similar approach, whether it's voice or whether it's text, and it's the same platform. So we have access to a lot of the same learning tools to get the most out of those use cases that we work on choosing and prioritizing together.
All right, thanks, Robert. And I think you answered this last question, but it's been asked. They're asking how quickly can we get up and running. So we really like those type of questions. So maybe if you can throw some light on that again. I know you did mention the times it takes a little bit in your previous answer, but why don't you let us know how long it takes?
Yeah, absolutely. So from that perspective, we have rapid design tooling, and you're basically working in a browser, so it's straightforward, it's intuitive, and the tools that we use, we have a lot of reuse as well. We have a whole bunch of skills in our skill store so that we can do more top-down work. Most of the classic use cases we get asked to do, we've been asked before. We learn from those, and we're able to apply that to speed up development. And then it's a matter of just prioritizing use cases with you as to where your company is seeing the most need and the most appropriate fit for us. And like I say, usually within about 12 to 15 weeks, we're integrated with your IVR. We have chosen one or more specific use cases to automate, and then we're in the process of ramping up deflection, 60, 70, 80%, whatever it is. And then we work with you going forward to continue to fine tune that. So the basics are that we usually are up within a matter of, I'd say, about 12 weeks or so to get an IVR solution production ready. This doesn't mean up and like in development. This is when it's being promoted from development to production. So this really, customers like this because when there's a business need, time is your money. We help you make the best use of it.
Okay, thank you, Robert. So folks, we will be sending you an unblemished recording of this webinar, so do look out for that. Like I mentioned, we had a webinar series that was running last year that was really well received, including some sessions with Forrester analysts and things which I'm sure all of you will find very interesting. So please take a look at that. We also do have some exciting webinars coming up this year. We've got a great lineup and schedule. One of the things I did want to mention is that Avamo has actually been picked for, distributing COVID vaccines, and there are many healthcare providers that are using Avamo to do the vaccine scheduling and other things using conversational virtual assistants, Avamo's virtual assistants. So the next session is going to be about that. It's going to be on the 10th of February, and we're going to have, Kunal Contractor, one of our directors and global heads of healthcare, that'll be, presenting that webinar. And so please look out for that. And we've got a very exciting lineup, as I mentioned, and we look forward to seeing you again here in the future. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.